Have you ever wondered how time travel actually works? Or is it even possible in the first place?
Time travel!
Apparently, there are a lot of methods of time travel, and in today's video, I am going to explain all of them to make it more understandable for you guys. I will also share a few examples of every method. Let's start the video with the fixed timeline method. What if going back in time didn't change the future because it was always meant to happen? That's how a fixed timeline works. In this kind of time travel, your actions in the past don't create a new path. They're already part of the story. You can't escape fate because everything you do was already done. In 12 Monkeys, the main character is sent to stop a deadly virus. But the twist? His actions in the past end up causing the future he was trying to prevent. No matter what he does, the outcome stays the same. Predestination takes it even further. A time agent hunts a criminal across time, only to realize he is the criminal. He's also the victim. He's everyone. It's a closed loop where every event is just a different version of himself. Nothing changes. It all folds back in. The Netflix show Dark dives deep into this. People keep traveling through time to break a cycle of pain, but each decision only locks them deeper into it. They end up becoming the very cause of their own suffering. In Steins Gate, the main character keeps trying to save his friend by changing timelines. But no matter how hard he tries, the outcome repeats. The universe pushes events back into place, like it's correcting itself. That's the fixed timeline. No paradoxes, no alternate futures. Just one loop where everything you do was always part of what happened. It's not about changing the past. It's about realizing you were never outside the story. So if you had the chance to go back, would you still try, knowing nothing could ever change? What if changing one small thing in the past rewrote the entire future? That's the idea behind a dynamic timeline. In this version of time travel, the timeline isn't fixed. It can shift, change, and even break, depending on what you do in the past. In Back to the Future, Marty McFly accidentally stops his parents from meeting. As a result, his entire future starts to fade, including himself. So he scrambles to fix it and restore the timeline. His actions directly shape what happens next. The Flashpoint paradox shows how one choice can destroy everything. When the Flash saves his mother from dying, the whole world changes. Heroes are gone, villains rule, and a massive war begins. One decision, total chaos. The butterfly effect explores this too. The main character keeps going back to fix mistakes, but each small change creates a completely new and often worse reality. It shows how unstable time can be when you mess with cause and effect. Even in anime, Erased plays with this idea. A man travels back to his childhood to prevent a crime. As he changes events, the future reshapes around him. Each choice leads to new outcomes, some better, some worse. This show is a masterpiece, by the way. In a dynamic timeline, the past is like wet clay. You can shape it, but every change has consequences. Sometimes good, sometimes disastrous. It's not about fate, it's about choice. But the scary part is, once you change the timeline, there's no way to know what you'll get instead. So if you could go back, would you risk everything just to fix one thing? What if changing the past didn't rewrite your timeline, but created a whole new one? That's how multiverse time travel works. Instead of altering your own world, every change you make creates a brand new reality, a branching path where things play out differently. In Avengers Endgame, the heroes go back in time to collect the Infinity Stones. But every time they take one, they create a new timeline. That's why they have to return each stone exactly where they found it, to avoid splitting reality. Spider-Man No Way Home takes this further. When a spell goes wrong, people from other universes start crossing over, each with their own version of Spider-Man. Different choices and different lives, but all part of the multiverse. Everything everywhere, all at once shows how wild this concept can get. One woman sees all the different versions of her life across parallel timelines. Somewhere she's a movie star, somewhere she's a chef, and even one where everyone has hot dog fingers. In Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, jumping through timelines shows how dangerous these alternate worlds can be. Some are peaceful, others are falling apart. And the scariest part? You can't always get back. Anime explores this too. In ReZero, every time Subaru dies, he wakes up in a slightly different timeline. Each version of the world is shaped by what he does, and each one comes with its own set of problems. So in multiverse time travel, you don't fix your past, you leave it behind and create a new reality entirely. You're not changing your world, you're choosing a different one. What if you had to live the same day, over and over again? That's a time loop, where a character is stuck reliving the same moment, and no matter what they do, time resets. The only way out? Learn, grow, or change something deep. Groundhog Day is a classic example. A man wakes up on the same day, every single morning. At first, he's reckless, then hopeless. But eventually, he uses the loop to become a better person, and that's what breaks the cycle. Edge of Tomorrow does it with action. Every time the main character dies in battle, he wakes up again before the fight. He slowly learns how to survive, how to win, and how to save the world. It's like trial and error, but with real consequences. In Palm Springs, Two characters are stuck in the same wedding day loop. They try everything: escape, chaos, even giving up. But the only way forward is through understanding, connection, and facing their fears. Anime nails this too. In ReZero, every time Subaru dies, he loops back, but it's not clean. He remembers the pain, the trauma, the failures. He has to carry all that weight while trying to fix each version of the future. In The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, the main character uses time jumps to fix small problems. But as the loop goes on, things get more complicated. Eventually, she learns that even repeated chances have limits. Time loops can feel like a curse, but they're also a test. The universe keeps asking one question: what will you do with another chance? What if time travel wasn't a mystery, but a machine you could turn on? That's what device-based time travel is all about, where people use technology, not magic or fate, to jump through time. It's not about destiny. It's about science, invention, and control. In The Time Machine, one of the earliest time travel stories, a scientist builds a machine that can move through time like a vehicle. It's simple but powerful: a seat, some levers, and the future right in front of him. Back to the Future made it iconic. The DeLorean isn't just a car, it's a time machine powered by plutonium and 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. Once it hits 88 miles per hour, boom, you're in another time. In Primer, two engineers accidentally build a time machine in their garage. But it's not glamorous, it's confusing, technical, and dangerous. The movie shows how quickly things spiral when you mess with time and don't fully understand the rules. Tenet flips the idea. Instead of jumping to a different point in time, their machine reverses your personal timeline. You walk backward while everything else moves forward. It's a device, but it breaks how you think about time completely. In Steins Gate, a microwave and a phone combo somehow lets characters send memories to their past selves. It sounds silly until it starts changing the future in huge ways. Device-based time travel makes it feel real. Like if we just built the right thing, we could break time itself. So the question is, if someone gave you the keys to a time machine, where would you go first? Let me know in the comment section below. What if time travel didn't need a machine, just your mind? That's psychological time travel, where the journey through time happens through memory, consciousness, or emotion. It's not physical, it's mental. And sometimes, that makes it even more powerful. In The Butterfly Effect, the main character reads from his old journals and suddenly finds himself back in key moments of his childhood. His adult mind takes over his younger body, and every change he makes sends ripples through the future. Your Name plays with this too. Two teenagers mysteriously switch bodies across time. They don't even realize at first that they're years apart, but through dreams, memories, and feelings, they form a deep connection across timelines. In Donnie Darko, time, fate, and mental breakdowns all blur together. Donnie sees visions, hears voices, and starts to sense a loop unfolding, one that might only end through a personal sacrifice. The time travel here feels emotional, symbolic, and surreal. Anime like Erased also explores this. The protagonist is sent back into his childhood mind to stop a tragedy. There's no machine, just trauma, guilt, and a desperate need to change what once went wrong. Psychological time travel isn't about science. It's about memory, emotion, and the parts of life we wish we could return to. What if time travel wasn't built, but cast like a spell? That's magical time travel, where time bends through magic, curses, artifacts, or ancient forces. No machines, no science, just power, mystery, and rules that aren't always clear. In Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Hermione uses a time turner, a tiny hourglass on a necklace, to jump back a few hours and fix events in secret. It's subtle, delicate, and full of consequences if misused. Doctor Strange also mixes time with magic. He uses the Eye of Agamotto to trap a villain in a time loop, repeating the same moment until the enemy finally gives up. Here, magic controls time like a tool, bending reality itself. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time looks simple, but the time jumps feel magical, triggered by a strange object, unexplained, yet deeply tied to fate. It's emotional, not technical. In anime like Puella Magi Madoka Magica, a character uses magical time travel to keep reliving the same tragic timeline, trying to save her friend. But each time, it leads to worse consequences, as if magic has its own price. Even in the Chronicles of Narnia, time moves differently between worlds. You can spend years in Narnia and come back seconds later. No machines, just ancient magic tied to the world's rhythm. What if time didn't need magic or machines? It just happened? That's natural time travel, when time shifts on its own, through strange places, cosmic events, or forces we can't explain. It's not planned, it's not controlled, it just is. In Interstellar, the crew visits a planet near a black hole, and because of the intense gravity, time moves slower there. 1 hour on that world equals 7 years on Earth. It's not sci-fi magic, it's real physics, stretched to the limit. Arrival plays with time differently. The main character starts seeing moments from her future, but not because she traveled there. It's because her brain starts to experience time the way an alien species does, all at once. In Planet of the Apes, astronauts travel through space and unknowingly jump far into the future. There's no time machine, just a side effect of space travel and relativity. The Man from the Future, a Brazilian film, features a freak energy experiment gone wrong. No one meant to time travel. It just happened. Nature bent the rules for a moment. In anime, fireworks shows time bending through emotion and environment. A single wish, a strange glowing orb, and suddenly the timeline shifts. Over and over, slightly different each time. Natural time travel feels like a force of the universe, something you can't predict, can't stop, and may never fully understand. So if time suddenly bent around you, would you go with the flow or fight to get back? What if time travel just happened with no reason at all? That's unexplained time travel. No machines, no magic, no rules. A person wakes up in the past or future with no clue how or why. The story doesn't care how it works. It's about what they do once it happens. In 13, going on 30, a teenage girl makes a birthday wish and suddenly wakes up in her 30-year-old body. No one explains it. But now she has to face the future she never expected and figure out how she got there. Midnight in Paris is another. Every night, the main character walks the streets of Paris and ends up in the 1920s, talking to artists like Hemingway and Picasso. No explanation, no portal, it just happens. And he learns more about himself each time. In the anime, Tokyo Revengers drops the main character into his middle school days after a near-death moment. There's no real logic behind it, but the story focuses on how he can change things, not why it's happening. Even It's a Wonderful Life plays with time strangely. One night, a man is shown what the world would look like if he had never been born. Is it a dream? A vision? Time travel? No one says, but it changes his life forever. Unexplained time travel works best when the focus is on emotion, not mechanics. It skips the how and dives into the what now part. What if time didn't move forward, but backward? That's reverse time travel. Not jumping to the past, but actually living time in reverse. Every step you take moves you into yesterday instead of tomorrow. In Tenet, this idea is pushed to the extreme. Certain people and objects are inverted, meaning they move backward through time. A bullet unfires into a gun. A crash unhappens. It's confusing but thrilling, and time itself becomes a weapon. Memento flips it differently. The story is told in reverse, each scene moving backwards, just like the main character's memory. We experience time the way he does, out of order, disorienting, and broken. Even in anime like Ergo Proxy, some episodes play with time running backward, showing how confusing and fragile memory and reality can be when time slips out of sync. Reverse time travel isn't about going to the past. It's about time reversing around you. You're not a visitor. You're trapped in rewind. Okay, guys, that was it for today's episode. If you want more of these videos, make sure to like and subscribe.